Welcome to our IAS2 revision lecture. First, we will have a look at the definition of inventory, when to recognize inventory, how to measure inventory, when to derecognize inventory, and then I want to add the disclosure. Now guys, I'm not going to go through the disclosure. I want you to refer to paragraph 36 in your IAS2 standard and work through the disclosure paragraph as self-study. Let's have a look at the definition. It should be in the ordinary course of business, in process of production or sale, and it can be materials, supplies to be consumed in this production process. Therefore, guys, important, it should be in the ordinary course of business. Therefore, if this is in a production process, you need to identify that most probably there will be raw materials, there will be work in progress, and there will be finished goods. It will not include financial instruments. It will not include agriculture or construction contracts. Now, when do we recognize inventory? When it is probable that there will be future economic benefits that will flow to the entity. Therefore, guys, important still your asset definition based on your conceptual framework. What is an asset? It is a resource under control of the entity due to a past event that will lead to an inflow of future economic benefits. And important, it should be measured reliably. Now, inventory should always be measured at the lower of cost or net realizable value. Now, guys, you need to test this at year end as well as on date of purchase. However, guys, most scenarios and most questions will not provide you with the information on date of purchase to test. However, at year end, and you will have to test this at each reporting period. Therefore, guys, let's have a look at what should be included in the cost of our inventory. First, we look at the cost of purchases. This will be a purchase price excluding VAT, important, import duties, other non-refundable taxes, costs directly attributable to the acquisition of our finished goods, services, and material, which will include handling and transport. And important, guys, less trade discounts, rebates, and similar types of discounts. This is very important, guys, that you should identify that the cost should exclude this. Then you need to know that there can be IAS 23 borrowing costs included, and if there is a deferred payment, you need to know that you will have to calculate the present value based on the discount rate that is pre-tax. Then the cost of our conversion, important, guys, that this should include our overheads, fixed as well as variable. This will be costs directly related to the units of production, therefore direct material and direct labor. And guys, our fixed overheads should be based on our normal capacity of production, and our variable production should be based on our actual usage. Now, important, guys, your paragraph 13 of IAS2, I want you to ensure that you read this paragraph. Your fixed production overheads shall be based on the normal capacity, except, guys, when your actual capacity is significant higher than the normal capacity. If your actual capacity is significant higher than the normal capacity, you need to use the actual capacity. Then other costs shall not include abnormal waste, storage costs, but important, this will include those necessary in the production process, will not include admin overheads and selling costs. Now let's have a look at our net realizable value calculation. This will be your selling price minus the cost of completion minus your selling costs. Now guys, when will we include our cost of completion? If, for example, first we've calculated that our finished goods should be measured at lower of cost and net realizable value, and this ended up to be at net realizable value, then this is a sign that you will have to test your raw materials as well as your work in progress. Now guys, normally your work in progress will only be completed for conversion costs until a certain percentage, let's say for example 50%. When you need to calculate your NRV of this WIP, you need to take into account the cost of completion in calculating your NRV. Now, when do we derecognize our inventory? First, when it is sold, what will your journal entry be? You will then debit your cost of sales and you will credit your inventory. When it's written down to NRV, you will debit the expense in your profit and loss and you will credit your inventory. And then when it's allocated to a self-constructed asset. Now, important with this one, guys, when we allocate it, we will debit our asset in our PPE or intangible asset and we will credit our inventory. Now, this will only be recognized in our profit and loss when we calculate the depreciation or amortization on this asset. Important. Now, guys, I've indicated to you that you will have to test at each reporting period if your inventory is at the lower of your cost or net realizable value. And important, there might be a situation where you have to reverse the write down up to your NRV. Now guys, I quickly want to discuss the calculation. This is a template to discuss and calculate all of the variables in your inventory question. Now first thing guys, if there's a production process, my first step will always be to include this template. Why? This template helps me to understand the process, that there might be raw materials that move to work in progress. Work in progress, which is finished, will move to my finished goods. Then guys, you need to ensure that you understand each separate journal entry. And for each of these categories, normally there will be an opening balance as well as a closing balance. And this will then be my step 2, to include all of the information they provide in the scenario into my template. And my third step will be to start including my calculations. Now my purchases will be my normal purchases for my raw materials, and you need to know what should be included in this costs of my raw materials. My WIP will include direct labor and direct material, my fixed overheads and my variable overheads. Remember, fixed overheads shall be based on our normal capacity, except when the actual is significant higher, and you can refer to paragraph 13. My variable overheads will be based on the actual capacity. Important, guys. Then once you have calculated all of the variables of your raw materials, you will be able to calculate the amount that should be transferred to your WIP. Therefore, guys, this is the amount from the raw materials transferred that is used in your work in progress. First, now once you've completed the calculation of your work in progress by including opening balances, closing balances, and important, refer to paragraph 16 of all of the costs that should be included, then guys, you are able to calculate the amount that should be transferred to your finished goods. And guys, important, please do not get confused between working with rand values and units or kilograms and so forth. Now guys, you've calculated the amount that can be transferred to your finished good. Now you are able to calculate the amount that can be transferred to cost of sales. Guys, this is an important one. Remember this cost of sale portion that we take out of our finished goods and transfer to our cost of sales. You will have to remember, if we have calculated our fixed overheads based on our normal capacity, let's say for example, our normal capacity is 10,000. Our actual capacity was 5,000 and our total of our fixed overheads was 10,000. Therefore, we've calculated our fixed overheads that will be included in our inventory based on the 10,000 divided by normal capacity 10,000 times 5,000, and this will be an amount of 5,000. There is still a remaining 5,000 guys, which is the original 5,000 minus the 10,000, and that will result in a remaining 5,000 that shall be added to your cost of sales in your profit and loss statement. Then the next rule, remember, inventory should be measured at the lower of cost or net realizable value. If you have determined in this scenario that your NRV of your finished goods is lower, this is the sign that you will have to test your raw materials as well as your WIP. And please remember this, guys, don't forget, if the NRV of your finished goods is lower than the cost, you need to remember to test your raw materials and your WIP. Guys, this is only a guideline that you can use to calculate your variables in your inventory questions.